It's mid-fall in the test garden, and just because my plants are starting to go dormant doesn't mean that I don't have anything to do. There's lots of stuff you can do in the fall that'll make my life easier in the spring and get my plants off to a good start. And first thing I'm going to do is it's a great time to divide perennials. And so I've got a Shasta daisy banana cream over here that looks like it's ready to be divided. So this Shasta daisy has developed a lot of nice crowns. I'm going to use a spade to dig up the whole clump, and then I'm going to separate them. And you can do this with other perennials such as phlox, daylilies, hostas would be a good one too at this time of year. Okay, I've got my Shasta daisy all dug up, and I like to put it on a kid's snow saucer. It's a real easy way to keep it all contained, and I can slide it around the garden if I need to. But I'm going to start dividing the crowns, and I'm going to use this Dawn's Daylily divider. And so what you do is you tuck it in between the crowns, and then you pull the handles apart, and it slides the crowns and makes the division super easy. Just like that. Or you can cut them with a soil knife if that works for you too, but this seems to pull them out without causing any damage to the roots. And now I've got 4 divisions. I'll put one back in the original hole, and I'll scatter a couple around according to the spacing on the tag. Fall is a great time to plant trees and shrubs, and also to transplant them from one spot to another. I've got an underperforming lilac here that got a little deer damage and got a little too much shade, so I'm going to move it to a more sunny spot. And I've also got a peony over on this side right here that is totally shaded out by this red bud. So I'm going to dig that up and move it to a better spot as well. As plants go dormant, we want to try and clean up a little bit in the garden. And so like with the salvia, I'm going to cut back some of those longer stems, and so that it'll have a nice tidy rosette to winter over with. And so we're going to cut some of that off because they don't really need all that. And I can put that in the compost pile for later, for next year. And this will make this plant a little bit tidier when it comes up in the spring. Next, I want to clean up a little bit. So anything that looks like a weed, I'm going to pull that out, because then when all those spring bulbs come up, they will come up looking pretty on a nice background, and you won't have those dead weeds in the way. And lastly, I'm going to add some compost to this. And fall is a good time to top dress with some compost. And I've got some composted cow manure right here. And I'll just sprinkle that all around the crown of this plant. And that will give it a little extra fertility in the soil. And a little bit of insulation as a mulch.